This is everything you need to know about the crazy queen of Havoc, Camellya. Camellya has two modes, Blossom Mode and Budding Mode. Budding Mode is where Camellya deals crazy amounts of damage. On the other hand, Blossom Mode is the preparation stage for Budding Mode. Camellya enters Blossom Mode by using Resonant skill. Once Camellya is in this mode, she can't move as she is tied up to these vines. All of her attacks in this mode are replaced by their enhanced versions. Yes, even her jump is replaced by an enhanced basic attack. Camellya can exit Blossom Mode in two ways. The normal way to exit is by using her enhanced Resonant skill. The weird way involves using the Levitator. The Levitator can be used in situations where Camellya is required to exit Blossom Mode and then enter it again without having to wait for the skill cooldown. Now, you know how Blossom Mode works, but what exactly are we trying to do in this mode? As mentioned earlier, Blossom Mode is the preparatory stage for Budding Mode. To enter Budding Mode, Camellya needs to use her enhanced Resonant skill, Ephemeral. But to use this enhanced Resonant skill, Camellya's Concerto should be full. And this is exactly what your objective in Budding Mode is. Now, you might have a question. Why should we enter Blossom Mode to fill Camellya's Concerto? This is because Blossom Mode recovers Concerto by consuming Crimson Pistols. Camellya can get all 100 Crimson Pistols by using her intro or by using Ephemeral. So you should always start Camellya's rotation with her intro. These attacks here consume Crimson Pistols. For every 10 Crimson Pistols consumed, Camellya gains 1 Crimson Bud and recovers 4 Concerto. Additionally, using these attacks in Blossom Mode increases the energy regeneration multiplier by 150%. This will help Camellya recover 20 Concerto by quickly using Ultimate, Intro skill, and Enhanced Resonance skill all help in recovering Concerto. Once Camellya has filled her Concerto, she will enter Budding Mode using Ephemeral. The reason Camellya can deal crazy damage in Budding Mode is mainly because of the Sweet Dream effect. This effect will increase the damage multipliers of these attacks by 50%. The damage multipliers will be increased by an additional 5% for every Crimson Bud consumed while casting Ephemeral. Budding Mode ends once all Crimson Pistols gained due to Ephemeral are consumed or when she is switched off field. Lastly, her inherent skills provide Havoc damage bonus and increases resistance to interruption, while her outro deals quite a bit of Havoc damage. Now let's talk about Camellya's insane signature. It has a crit rate main stat and increases attack by 12%. But the best part about it is that it provides basic attack damage bonus when dealing basic attack damage and consuming Concerto. The reason why this is so crazy is because almost all of Camellya's skills are considered basic attack damage, and she consumes Concerto just before going into Budding Mode, which is where the majority of damage is dealt. Her signature provides a 20% damage increase over the standard 5-star sword, Emerald of Genesis. Your best 4-star option will be Looming Gloss. Next up are Echoes, which is quite interesting when it comes to Camellya. For Echo sets, the 5-piece Havoc set is the clear winner. But the real question is whether Camellya should use Crownless or Dreamless. So let's break this down. The total Havoc damage dealt by Dreamless would be about 540%, whereas with Crownless, it will be about 670%. Additionally, Crownless provides Havoc damage and Resonant skill damage buffs, which are very useful to Camellya. On the other hand, the damage dealt by Dreamless increases by 50% for 5 seconds after Havoc Rover uses Ultimate. But it doesn't make much of a difference. I would recommend going with Crownless. The main stats for 4 cost is going to be crit, while for 1 cost, it's going to be attack. But it's a little different when it comes to 3 cost. If you choose any weapon apart from Camellya's signature, then Havoc damage on both 3 cost echoes is the correct decision. But on using Camellya's signature, I found that using Havoc damage and attack combination is a little better. However, the damage increase is quite minimal. Let's quickly go over Camellya's sequences. On using Intro, Camellya's S1 gives a crit damage buff, while S4 provides basic attack damage bonus. Since all of Camellya's rotations start with Intro, she will have these buffs for the entire rotation. As you can see here, S6 is Camellya's best sequence by a huge margin. Firstly, the damage multipliers of Sweet Dream effect in Budding Mode are increased. S6 also adds a new skill to her kit called Perennial. Perennial is an enhanced resonant skill available if Camellya's Concerto is full within 15 seconds after using Ephemeral. Perennial is the same as Ephemeral, except that it gives 50 Crimson Pistols instead of 100. With S6, you can now extend Camellya's rotation and deal more damage. Finally, it's time to talk about Camellya's teams. Camellya is a main DPS, and she needs a healer. All 3 healers help Camellya deal around the same amount of damage. But at S2 Shorekeeper, Camellya's damage increases by a lot. Now that the healer is out of the way, it's time to fill up the last slot. This last slot has quite a lot of options. But the best resonator that can occupy this slot is Sanhua. She provides basic attack damage deepen, which will apply to almost all of Camellya's attacks. The next best option will be Danjin, who provides Havoc damage deepen. S4 Havoc Rover, who reduces the enemy's Havoc resistance, is also a good alternative. Everything considered, Camellya is quite free to play friendly. Anyways, good luck on your pulls.